Hey everyone, my name is Jennifer Feek and I'm the sponsor of our local website, Park Bench, downtown Milton, and a realtor here in town with Forest Hill Real Estate Concept. I am happy to be here today at Bread and Batter Bakery with the executive pastry chef, Erin.
Thanks for
Welcome, Erin.
having me.
Perfect. So excited to learn a little bit more about yourself and your family business.
Yeah, well, Bread and Batter is our family bakery, and it's exactly what it is. It's run by our family, and honestly, like it really began with my mom. So this bakery we actually started because honestly, my mom had a craving, and there's this favorite dish that she has, actually a favorite dessert from back home. It's this mocha chiffon kind of cake. So it's like a fluffy sponge cake and everything. And when she looked for that kind of cake here, she couldn't find it. So it was more of like I guess her personal goal to kind of figure out a recipe for that. So her hunt for that famous kind of mocha cake is actually what started it all. So when she started experimenting, she basically started jumping back into her passion of baking, which is something that she already had since she was younger anyways. It's just she kind of had to, provide for the family. But now that we came here to Canada, she just decided to use her free time to kind of figure out what that recipe could be. And when she figured it out, she wanted to dive into more baked goods. Now, the funny part is that after doing that, people kind of, like family friends started tasting what she was baking. People would come over, just even random guests and whatnot. They would taste it and then they really loved it and then started asking if she could bake it as an order. And that's really where the story began. Like it was just a little favor to a friend or two, and then it just blew up to this bakery. Long story short.
But that's awesome, right? That's where the passion ignites
Yeah.
from within, right? So
Yeah.
are most of the baked items here in your bakery like a Filipino based or
Yeah, so most items in the bakery are Filipino-based items, but they aren't Filipino items alone. So what I mean by that is that although we have some Filipino items and products, there are a lot of fusion items that we make that kind of care to really showcasing the Filipino tradition into something that's more familiar with everybody else around us. Because we are in Canada, we are somewhere it's not the Philippines, and while we are here, we don't want to forget our roots. At the same time, we want to share that. So that's the base of all of the products that basically come out of this kitchen.
amazing. What would be some of the most popular items that the bakery sells?
That's an easy answer. It's definitely one, our cupcakes. That began with me actually, where I took my mom's cake recipe and kind of expanded that to different flavors. But the reason why we have our cupcakes in our signature way, which is with a nice whipped cream frosting, is that I personally don't like heavy buttercream frostings, and I always love strawberry shortcakes. So in my mind, when we started this, I was like, there must be a way where I can love every single cupcake I'm having and not just crave a strawberry shortcake texture. So then by experimenting with the things that I know, because I did come from a culinary background and went to culinary school and had a lot of, I've basically been in the kitchen since I was like 15, 16 years old. So I love that too. So I took that experience and kind of turned, I guess, I satisfied my own craving the same way my mom did. And then that really began the recipe for the cupcakes that Milton and everybody else outside of it loves. Beyond the cupcakes, though, it is our most traditional bread, which is the ensaimada, and it's a pull apart bread. And it's just, well, honestly, who doesn't love cheese? But when you add sweets to that, then you love it even more. So that apart bread we have is very traditional in the Philippine culture that we share amongst each other, which we're also known for because we like get-togethers and just being with each other in each other's company.
So is that where the bread comes from in the name?
Not necessarily. The name itself is just a traditional name for it. But when you say it, I guarantee every Filipino will know it. And then I would like to think that when they hear it, they think of us.
So your name of bread and batter is a little bit of savory and sweet.
That, but it's also play on our bread side of the kitchens and the cakes. Yeah.
That's great. So you had a passion for baking from a young age.
Yes.
What is like one of your most favorite things to bake?
Um, Honestly, I think I just really love cakes, specifically the ones that have like that like an egg white like meringue kind of base. It is one of the hardest things to kind of figure out and master. Like I myself took at least three to 4 years to even try to figure it out. But when you figure it out, it's so enjoyable to kind of see where the textures of the base of the meringue really plays into the different kinds of cakes and different products that come out of it. And a lot of our products are based off of that meringue. So we have Saint Serval, we have our cakes, we have our chiffon slices. Everything is just, it stems from some kind of base, and I really, really love that.
Like the science of baking, right?
Yeah, actually, we even bake differently if it's a rainy day. The weather outside really affects how we change the methods of what we do. And that's just due to the fact that we are a bake from scratch kitchen, so we don't really outsource much of any pre-made things here. It really is just um, products that come right out of like grandma's kitchen or something. We don't even add preservatives to our stuff, so it's really just a quick turnover, and that we don't really see anything on the shelf more than 1 week.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
And I know, yeah, lots of people play in the kitchen and say, how come I can't duplicate or replicate my mom's recipe or my grandma's recipe
yeah,
or a long-standing family tradition piece here? And, that's where it kind of sometimes makes sense when you say you have to make adaptations, right? So that's
yeah,
really great. Um, so I guess some people always wonder, we order en masse. Do you
yeah.
accept custom orders or large batches?
Custom orders, we accept them through seasons, and that really just depends on what time, like what part of the year it is. Sometimes we do get busier because we do cater to a lot of local companies, as well as a lot of family events in the community, which is something we're also proud of at the same time because we started off as catering to Filipino families, and that's kind of branched off into catering to larger orders, slightly customized orders that will cater to every single ethnicity's home.
So if someone wanted to place a large order, best to call or visit online.
Yeah, they could give us a call to really just get the fastest answer and the fastest connection with us. But you can also get stuff from us online because we do have our menu fully accessible through our website. And if not, we'd also love to have everyone come in and just talk to us in person too.
That's great. Just bringing it back now, since we're also about local and supporting local and
Yeah.
living local, what are some of the favorite things your family enjoys most about living and doing business in Milton?
Honestly, it's really just the fact that it's a very family-based community. Everybody here is so supportive, and even if you're not part of each other's family, when you come in, it just feels like they're talking to us like we're their next aunt or their niece or something. So just the simple conversations that we have, how open everyone is to come in and just really like ask about our story or ask about our products. That starts a small little conversation that kind of always rekindles that passion that we remember from why we even started this bakery in the first place. And beyond that, it's just the fact that um, I think Milton is just a place full of tradition, whether it's in our own homes or even like local community events.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that circulates in this specific town, and like although we're growing, we still have that small town feel and that generosity and that kindness that kind of extends out in the interaction, even just in the local festivals and activities around. We partake in those things too, whether it's connected to to bread and batter or even just our family alone. So we really enjoy that, and it's a nice breather to just be working in a town like this.
I agree. I moved here in 2002 and thought I'd be out in 5 years, and I'm still here and loving it. That feel of the
Yeah,
community is great for sure.
yeah,
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for meeting with us today. Milton, if you haven't checked out Bread and Batter, definitely encourage you to do so. You can also check them out online on their website or at their socials. They can be found at breadandbatter.ca or at Bread and Batter on Instagram and social. Um, Once again, if you have a local business or a nonprofit organization and you would like to be featured, please reach out to me. You can also check out our community website at www.parkbench.com/downtown-Milton. Take care, everyone. Until next time.